This summary of the first minute, How to Start Conversations That Get Results by Chris Fennon is about to begin. Enjoy. Key point 1. A minute to win it. If you no longer had to spend time resolving confusion and misunderstandings in your work processes, what would you do with the extra time? Now is the perfect time to consider this question, because you will soon possess effective communication skills that will save you time down the road. Typical culprits for workplace miscommunication include lack of context, unclear objectives, wordiness, jumbling multiple topics in one discussion, long, vague explanations. To avoid these pitfalls, start every conversation, whether it's about simple office supplies or major projects, with clarity and brevity. It won't take you more than a minute to communicate the gist. Incorporate analogies in your speech to simplify complex points. To nail the first minute of any dialogue, try this approach. 1. Frame the discussion within the first 15 seconds. Provide context and a headline. 2. Construct a structured summary of your message. Articulate the goal, pinpoint the problem, and steer the conversation toward the solution. Furthermore, you'll become adept at summarizing your message within 60 seconds across various situations, industries, and job roles. Ready to make waves? It's time to pump up the first minute of your speech and captivate your audience from the start. Key point 2. Set the stage. The strategies you will master rely on 3 essential principles. Preparation. Ensure your audience is ready to receive your message. Conciseness. Respect people's busy schedules by being brief. Focus on solutions. Direct the conversation toward actionable solutions rather than problems. Framing is a technique that sets clear expectations for your message. Using this method ensures that your audience understands the main idea of your announcement within the first few sentences. This method consists of 3 elements. Context defines the topic or issue at hand. Intent clarifies what the audience should do with the provided information. Key message highlights the most critical part of your message, serving as the headline. These components remain constant regardless of the topic, speaker, or audience. When correctly sequenced, they effectively create a framework for your message. To begin, provide clear context by identifying the project or issue, mentioning the process, system, or tool involved, specifying the customer you're collaborating with, stating the task or objective you'll discuss. Next, express your intent. How people handle and store information depends on its intended use. If it takes too long for your audience to grasp the purpose, they may misinterpret it or dismiss it as irrelevant. Intentions related to work typically fall into the following categories: seeking help, advice, or input, requesting action, looking for a decision, alerting someone to an impending event to avoid surprises, providing information or input requested previously. Consider this example of expressing context and intent. I've reviewed the new information security policy and found something you should know. As you communicate, introduce new details gradually, making sure they logically follow each other. Lastly, deliver your key message. It should capture the vital information your audience needs while avoiding the temptation to cover every detail. Before speaking or writing, consider all the details you might include and narrow them down to one core message. Then, imagine your audience asking, "So what?" Your response typically will contain the key message. No problem is too complex to be summarized in less than a minute. Chris Fenning. Key point 3. Bridge the gap with structure. Once you have established the framework, use the remaining 45 seconds of the first minute to deliver a structured summary. Starting your conversation with this summary will give your listeners an apparent and concise preview of the key points they'll learn, your expectations, and the next steps. This approach allows you to set a clear agenda, regardless of whether the entire message takes 4 or 40 minutes to deliver. The Goal Problem Solution, or GPS method, is a practical approach to summarizing and initiating workplace discussions. This three-part structure consists of the goal, what you aim to achieve; problem, the obstacle that is hindering your progress; solution, the actions you will take to overcome the problem. Like its navigation-oriented counterpart, this method helps you clearly show others your desired destination, identify obstacles, and outline the steps to reach your purpose. Let's consider an example. Goal: ensure timely delivery of product upgrades. Problem: multiple scheduling conflicts may delay the go-live date. Solution: collaborate with your team and devise an action plan. A GPS-based structured summary keeps the conversation focused on solving the problem without getting lost in all the details. It also lets your audience or your conversation partner have a say in how the discussion unfolds. You don't need to know the solution at the start of the conversation. Asking for help is okay. But if you can also propose a solution, you can distinguish yourself as a high performer. When high performers seek help, they typically bring their own ideas to initiate the conversation. Additionally, it's helpful to outline the steps you've already taken to address the problem. Even if you haven't taken any action yet, you can describe your proposed course of action. And if you're unsure of the following steps, it's perfectly okay to ask, "Can you help me resolve this issue?" Use a calm and clear tone of voice to aid the listener's comprehension. Key point 4. Timing is everything. Now that you know how to create a compelling summary, ensure your audience is ready to listen. There are 2 crucial steps to achieve this. 1. Time check. Inform your audience of the time you will need. This method sets clear expectations from the start. 2. Validation checkpoint. Confirm whether your audience is available to engage. Integrating these phases at the beginning of your message is vital. Skipping these steps can harm your credibility with your audience. Including them sets you up for success right from the start. Setting realistic expectations manages your audience's anticipation and helps avoid disappointment. Underestimating the time required can damage your reputation as a communicator and professional. Failing to meet a self-imposed deadline may lead others to question your reliability, or, at the very least, frustrate your listener if they have limited time to spare. Once you've obtained your conversation partner's agreement to extend the time, make the most of it. Deliver your key points quickly by framing and summarizing them to free up the remainder of the time for a more valuable discussion. This approach maximizes the opportunity for meaningful engagement, ultimately helping you achieve your conversation goals. When seeking assistance, ensure that the person can and is available to help. Ability refers to having the knowledge, access, or authority required. Meanwhile, availability means having both the time and willingness to assist. It's essential to confirm that the conversation can proceed effectively. Here are some questions you can ask after presenting your summary. Are you the right person to assist with this? Is now a good time to discuss this? Do you have any questions concerning what I described? These questions allow the person to let you know if they can continue the discussion. Be patient and allow the listener time to formulate responses or questions. Key point 5. Write. Emails. In addition to face-to-face interactions, most workplace communication occurs through emails and meetings. The good news is that you can use the same framing techniques and structured summaries in written communication as you would in conversations. Consider this format to optimize your emails. Context. Include it in the subject line. Intent. Place it in the subject line or at the beginning of the email. Key message. Clearly state this in the first line of the email. Goal, problem, solution. Present these as labeled bullet points or brief separate paragraphs within the body of the email. Incorporating bullet points and bold text to highlight goals, problems, and solutions ensures clarity for your readers about the purpose of each piece of information. Lengthy blocks of text are less reader-friendly and may deter your audience because the email appears to be time-consuming. There's no apparent urgency prompting immediate reading. It's tough to differentiate between different sections. There's no focal point to draw their attention. Given the competition from countless other emails, lengthy, dense messages often get sidelined. Incorporate headings, lists, and ample white space to enhance readability and capture attention quickly. Stick to one central point per email. When forwarding an email chain, treat it like a new conversation. Start by providing context and clearly stating your purpose. Summarize critical information to ensure the recipient understands your main point without sifting through previous emails. This method increases the likelihood that they'll engage with the content effectively. For email threads with numerous responses, consider pausing the email exchange and switching to a phone call or in-person meeting. Begin these meetings with a clear synopsis to ensure everyone is on the same page. Never assume the other person knows what you are talking about. Chris Fenning. Did you know? Research indicates that consistently strong performance can help overcome a poor first impression. Specifically, it takes about 8 positive impressions to counteract 1 negative. Key point 6. Know why before you apply. Imagine a scenario where a coworker abruptly tells you to be in meeting room 5 at 9 a.m. and then leaves without further explanation. Would you attend the meeting? This situation is surprisingly common as many workers receive vague meeting invitations daily. These invitations often lack details or explanations, leading to confusion and inefficiency. A clear purpose helps attendees grasp their role, determine if any preparation is necessary, and how to prioritize the meeting. Meeting invitations should initiate a conversation. Attendees need to understand the meeting's purpose and expected outcomes, whether they involve making decisions, engaging in informed discussions, or brainstorming ideas and solutions. All participants must comprehend what they aim to achieve collectively. To enhance your meeting invitations, consider using framing to incorporate 2 vital elements. Meeting purpose. A single line describing the meeting's goal. Meeting output. A single line detailing the anticipated result of the meeting. An agenda is also valuable for meetings covering multiple topics, as it outlines the subjects and their order, especially when different speakers are involved. Also, it is essential to repeat the meeting details at the beginning for many reasons, such as, not all attendees may have read the invite. Those who read the invitation might have done so long ago and not recall all the specifics. The introduction allows attendees to ask questions and clarify points about the goals, problems, or solutions. For those leading the meeting, starting with a review can help smooth the transition to the next topic and soothe nerves. Bringing notes ensures that essential details don't slip through the cracks during a conversation. Consider making it easier for attendees to leave the meeting after the introduction. Simply stating, "If this meeting isn't relevant to your work, please feel free to leave," demonstrates respect for their time, leading to increased appreciation. Moreover, this practice fosters accountability. Those who choose to stay are typically more engaged in the discussion. Conclusion. The strategies we have explored are straightforward, yet mastering them requires time, practice, and application across various scenarios. As you grow, you will think more naturally regarding context, intention, and key messages. With time, you may no longer need to jot down notes before a conversation, although preparing notes can still be helpful in complex or critical situations. Adopt these techniques consistently to become a skilled communicator known for producing effective results through clear conversations. Try this. To consistently apply good communication practices, create a visual reminder for yourself. Write the main components on a sticky note and place it on your desk or monitor. If a conversation seems unclear after the first minute, politely ask the speaker to clarify their intentions. Summary complete. Please take a moment to rate it so we can help you grow in the best way possible.